Tonight on the South Today, a food rescue organisation launches its new campaign in Queenstown aimed at helping support locals. Some of Christchurch's space enthusiasts get a taste of the stars thanks to the return of a very old telescope. And royal fans in Invercargill prepare to celebrate the coronation at a right royal high tea. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. While Queenstown is perceived as the home of the rich and famous, almost 800 people in the resort town are currently receiving food support each week. And that stark situation is what's driving a new winter food campaign from charity Kiwi Harvest.
No wasted food going unnoticed, as food rescue organisation Kiwi Harvest launches its new campaign at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Queenstown. The campaign's set to run through until September with the goal of helping nearly 800 people in Queenstown Lakes region who need food support each week. It'll see trolleys placed in the major supermarkets, with members of the public encouraged to make donations of non-perishable food items. They'll be distributed to those in need through local charities like Salvation Army, Happiness House and Baskets of Blessings. Gary Ho's the Queenstown branch manager for Kiwi Harvest and says for each trolley filled, the organisation will donate a planter box to someone in the community, giving both immediate relief and long-term food security with the vegetables they can grow.
They're going to fit in the backs of people's cars, they're going to be self-watering so they can take care of themselves. We're going to provide the full package with seedlings, training manuals, recipes, so they'll have everything they need to start growing food themselves.
He says they're looking to involve the community with this new campaign, making it easier for people to donate their extra food items, with the project running alongside Kiwi Harvest's usual food rescue efforts.
But really this is about getting the community involved, so they have an outlet to contribute, because the charities are needing more and more food, and we're just trying to get food from in all sources. Last
year, Kiwi Harvest rescued more than 120,000 kilograms of food from supermarkets, restaurants and food producers across central Otago. That's equivalent to around 340,000 meals. And while Ho says this campaign is a pilot scheme for now, it's hoped it can be expanded into other communities in the future. In Queenstown, the South Today.
The government's decision to trim the budget of the new Dunedin Hospital build is expected to cost $27 million in consultancy fees and rising costs. Documents released under the Official Information Act have revealed the government won't know how much money will actually be saved until December. That's despite it announcing just before Christmas last year that the planned changes would save $90 million. There's been strong backlash to the cuts, prompting the government to reinstate $10 million of items back into the build project. But National Dunedin List MP Michael Woodhouse has criticised the cost cutting as a massive navel-gazing exercise. Project management company RCP put the expected consultancy fee at $12 million, which Woodhouse says is an extraordinary amount to spend to find savings of $90 million. Christchurch stargazers are delighted to be able to view the heavens again through a 158-year-old telescope. The historic Townsend Telescope was badly damaged in the 2011 earthquakes, but has now been reinstalled in its old home.
Some of Christchurch's stargazers lining up to view the night sky. Residents are welcoming the return of the historic 158-year-old Townsend Telescope to its central city home. It's been a long project, with the first public viewings back in the observatory at the Arts Centre being held at the weekend.
The telescope was built in 1864 and was installed here in 1896. And since that time, people have run open nights on Friday nights to show the people of Christchurch the night sky.
The half-ton telescope was buried under 35 tonnes of rubble when the observatory tower collapsed in the February 2011 earthquake. And after a lengthy delay, it took more than 3 years of painstaking work by a dedicated team at the University of Canterbury to bring this piece of the city's astronomical heritage back to life.
It's been 12 years since we've had the telescope open for open nights because it was damaged in the earthquake, and it's been quite a voyage and a mission to get the telescope restored.
Pollard believes astronomy helps towards our thinking about our place in the universe.
I've always been fascinated with astronomy. I think it's, it makes you think about some of the big questions, why are we here? Is there life in the universe? How did life arise on the Earth?
The public are now invited to view the stars every Friday night, with tickets on sale for sessions running throughout the winter. In Christchurch, the South Today.
The National President of the Tertiary Education Union is set to join hundreds of staff in a protest next week as Otago University considers mass layoffs. The union's holding a paid 2-hour stop work meeting next Tuesday, where it will speak with staff about proposed cuts and the budget issues being experienced by Otago University. It follows the revelation the university is facing a $60 million budget blowout and needs to save money in various areas, including staff cuts. The stop work meeting will begin on the union lawn at noon, with staff then walking to the Clock Tower building. The meeting's at the same time as the University Council meeting, which will discuss the institution's 7-year plan and possible steps to address the financial woes. Royal fever is in the air across the country ahead of this weekend's royal coronation ceremony. One Dunedin woman has shared a memorable encounter she had with the then Prince Charles 8 years ago at the Dunedin railway station.
One of King Charles' biggest fans on the other side of the world. Dunedin resident Leslie Haid was among those in the crowd back in 2015, trying to catch a glimpse of His Royal Highness Prince Charles at the Dunedin railway station. She ended up having a brief brush with royal security after grabbing and kissing the future King of Britain, expressing how ecstatic she was.
As soon as I put my arms on him, I got a kiss on his cheek, a couple of burly arms grabbed me, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to end up in that Dunedin old railway prison down there, the prison at the back.
Haid's originally from Yorkshire and is confident King Charles will make for a good ruler of the Commonwealth.
As far as I'm concerned, he's been a fairly good fella, and I think he'll make a fairly good king.
The royal coronation is set to take place around 10 p.m. on Saturday night, our time, with Haid's planning to join millions around the world to watch as the new king is officially crowned at London's Westminster Abbey. In Dunedin, the South Today.
It's over 70 years since the last English royal coronation, and the anticipation is building for the crowning of King Charles III. Teacups and cake stands are at the ready in Southland as local monarchists prepare to celebrate with a right royal raucous.
Pearls, fascinators and tiaras will be in abundance on Sunday for the celebration of a once-in-a-lifetime event. This team are preparing to host a right royal high tea at the South Alive pod in Invercargill to mark the coronation of King Charles III. The event is an excuse for a bit of classy fun and glamour, and is also a fundraiser for the New Zealand Cancer Society.
It's all for a good cause, but it's a fun day. It's celebrating an event that is very rare, so yeah, it's all good.
A royal coronation is such a rare occurrence that none of the team running the event can remember Queen Elizabeth's coronation. In fact, most of them weren't even born then. The event's being held on Sunday afternoon, as the actual coronation proceedings are happening very late on Saturday night New Zealand time. The celebrations will of course feature plenty of English tea, alongside 3-tiered china cake stands loaded with cucumber sandwiches, pinwheels, scones, hazelnut truffles and cinnamon oysters. Guests are also being encouraged to dress up for the occasion, with some of the crew finding creative ways to look flash without spending up large.
An onion bag. So if you can see there, that's where I took the black tie out of it, and I just used that in a comb and some flowers that someone was throwing out.
Organisers are expecting an excited crowd at the Right Royal Crown gathering, with the event already selling out.
We're really pleased, because last year we wanted to run an afternoon tea and we didn't get as many tickets sold, so just a great way to get people from the community to come in and spend some time here.
And with all the preparation and food creation underway, the team are looking forward to a jolly good post-coronation party. In Invercargill, the South Today.
Whakane, still to come on the South Today. The Sharks basketball team prepare to switch things up, and the zoo prepares to drown out the sound of cowbells at tomorrow night's Highlanders home game.
risk of developing melanoma skin cancer. You owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Great news! My mate John's taken 33.333333. He's taken a third off everything. Plus pay it off over 33 months interest free.
And my mate John.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. With the National Basketball League season well underway, things are on an upward bounce for the Southland Sharks. The Invercargill-based franchise had a rough season last year, but is changing up its style of play with a new coach at the helm.
A change of pace for Invercargill's resident ballers. The city's basketball team, the Southland Sharks, have got their season off to a strong start under the watchful eye of new coach Guy Malloy. He was encouraged to apply for the Southland role by previous Sharks coach and close friend Rob Beveridge. The Southlanders had a bumpy season last year with a young lineup, finishing near the bottom of the table. Malloy says his aim this season is to build a strong team-focused culture.
Breaking your man down in isolation and one-on-one, we're not really that type of team. We're a lot more about playing as a collective, and it was finding the right guys that wanted to buy into that.
Malloy previously coached the Wellington Saints, parting ways with the franchise partway through last season. He moved south in March and is happy with his shift to Invercargill, particularly impressed with the city's cafes and friendly locals.
Facilities are better than or as good as any place that I've seen in New Zealand, which is terrific, and I've just really appreciated the support that I get around. Like anyone you bump to in the streets wants to talk about the Sharks, and that's great.
Malloy grew up in Melbourne, playing basketball at a state league level before opportunities in coaching encouraged him to pursue it as a career. He brings over 35 years of professional experience to the role, including half a decade mentoring the tall ferns. And while juggling the two roles requires sacrifice, he says both teams have been very accommodating. The Sharks are currently 4th on the Sal's NBL table, and Malloy is confident they're heading in the right direction.
We're in the first 10 minutes of the season, so it feels, so there's a long way to go, but from where we started in early March to the point that we're at now, I feel like that's really emerging. The culture to me feels really strong, the boys are working really hard, and I think we're improving.
The Sharks play at home this Sunday at ILT Stadium Southland, going head-to-head against the Wellington Saints. In Invercargill, the South Today.
All eyes will be on Dunedin tomorrow night as the Highlanders take on the Chiefs for their last chance of a spot in the top 8. The Highlanders will face the Chiefs at Forsyth Bar Stadium in the 11th round of the Super Rugby Pacific competition. The teams just returned from Australia, where they suffered a last-minute single-point defeat to the Waratahs. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are on a winning streak after beating the Crusaders last weekend. They're aiming for a record 10 wins in a row. Highlanders captain Billy Harmon returns to the forward pack for this game, with lock Josh Dixon also back. The match kicks off just after 7 on Friday night, with only a few rounds remaining until the playoffs. Time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, well, warm winds are blowing over southern districts at the moment and will stick around through the weekend, but much colder southwesterlies are on the way next week. Heading to the top of the South Island, northerlies and rain up in Nelson and Greymouth tomorrow with highs of 16, and Christchurch gets some late rain after nor'easterlies and a high of 15 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. High cloud and warm winds through here tomorrow, up to 17 in Ashburton with 16-degree highs in Timaru and Awamadu. Heading westwards now to the Central Lakes. Nor'easterlies and high clouds will keep things warm and windy through here as the leaves continue to fall. Numbers wise, up to 20 degrees in Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra. Heading further south. North to northeast winds right through here tomorrow with high cloud and warm temperatures. Gore gets a lovely 20 degrees, 19 over in Balclutha and 16 with fresh winds down in the Catlins. And down to the deep south, fine with northerlies and 9 degrees in Invercargill overnight. The next 2 days are shaping up to be warm and slightly windy with north to northeasterlies about. Friday's high will be 21 and then 22 degrees on Saturday. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Fine with breezy nor'easterlies and a 10-degree low tonight. Tomorrow's fine and sunny with gusty warm winds at times, the high 16, and into the weekend a high of 19 degrees with clear, sunny skies and light winds. And that's the news this Thursday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. Follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. And over on Facebook, search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite apopo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.